Okay, getting ready to polyurethane the floor. Got polyurethane, I'm going to stir it up. They say you should do 10 strokes each way. I'll probably do more than that. Just don't want to get bubbles in it. I've got a thing of mineral spirits, just in case I make a boo-boo, or to clean my brush. I've got rags, I've got a natural bristle brush, and it's a paint stir, of course. And I'm going to stir it up and we'll get started. Okay, here we go. I'm already liking it.
That's beautiful.
I'm not too worried about getting it on the very bottom because I'll try to put a quarter round on there.
Are you going to go all the way down to the end of the room? Or
Yeah, and then I'll come back up here and work my way back down again.
Okay, so you'll be doing it like board by board?
Yeah, like three boards at a time.
Is it supposed to be that thin?
Yeah, it said working 3 coats of thin coats. That way it dries better.
It's been about a half an hour and I'm checking up on the progress. I'm impressed already.
Okay.
How long will this first coat take to dry?
I think it says in 4 hours you should test it and see if you can do a second coat.
Really?
I don't think anybody heard that, so I don't say it out loud.
4 hours you should be able to touch it?
Yeah, and recoat.
Well, you're about halfway through that room. Okay, it's been about another half hour. And Kevin only has about 8 more boards till he's at the end of the room. And it looks beautiful. Now, you have to do 3 coats. Will it get darker with each coat, or will it get shinier?
I think it'll just get shinier, because if you look at this, it looks a little dull.
Uh-huh.
That's where it's soaking in and sealing the wood.
Okay.
And then I think the next coat will actually lay on top of this coat and make it shinier.
Okay.
Because if you look in here, it's kind of dry and it's kind of dull.
Right.
Spots where it's dry.
Right.
I think it's because it's sinking into the wood.
Okay, so that's why you do 3 coats.
Yeah, that's my theory.
Okay. In about 40 minutes, Kevin has finished the den. And it's beautiful. And now he's in the living room. And he's already halfway through. You must have gotten your groove because you're going faster.
Yeah,
Or
slapping on there.
it seems like you're going faster. You're what?
I'm not even going fast.
These boards, the boards in the den are thicker than these, but I like the thin boards.
Don't step on it.
I won't step in it. Well, it looks beautiful. And I put a note on the door so that to let people know we would not be using the front door. Kevin is almost finished with his second coat of polyurethane on the den floor. And it has made it a lot shinier. And you can tell the difference between that floor and this floor. This floor is polyurethane once, and I guess it soaked in like he said yesterday that it would. Because you can tell a big difference. Kevin is almost finished with the living room now. This is the floor after the second coat. Kevin is getting ready to add what he hopes to be the third and the final coat. It's had well over 24 hours to dry. This is the third coat. Kevin's about 3/4 the way finished, and it is very, very shiny now. Much shinier than it's been. That looks like glass.
Like glass.
It does look like glass. Say it again.
Like glass.
I think those fumes have gone to your head. Okay, the floors are finished. They need to sit for 3 days before we move furniture on them, just so that we can make sure they're completely dry. But this is how shiny they are. I think they turned out beautiful. So all we have to do is put the vents back in the floors and move our furniture in.
Alright, we're gonna have to sand this and polyurethane this part. That's where the carpet was laying before. And this actually goes down to the floor underneath, I mean to the ground. So air comes up through there. And the thresholds they make, I can get a really big ugly one, but I wanna really make just a small one and up here. So what I'm gonna do is sand this all down, polyurethane it. I may put some silicone sealer down there, and then once it gets finished up, we'll put a threshold over there so it'll look really nice. I'm cleaning all the dust where I sanded with mineral spirits just to make sure there's no dust. And mineral spirits, that way it won't be water based and be able to not be able to polyurethane over it, because mineral spirits won't affect the oil based polyurethane. I'm gonna caulk in this hole because I can feel the cold air in it right now. But I'm gonna have to do a couple layers because it's so wide. We bought some thresholds for the doors to cover them up, and I talked about those. I bought oak thresholds, the low profile ones, because I really didn't like that big hump the other ones had. And Tammy agreed; she liked these too. Really light natural oak. Tried just polyurethane the oak by themselves. They're really, really light. I mean, like that color light. I mean, they were very, very light. Maybe not that light, but they were light. So way too light for what the floors look like. So what I did was I went out and sanded them all back down, sanded that coat of polyurethane off. I went to Lowe's and found the closest one I could, which is English chestnut, and looks really, really dark on there. Maybe if you left it on the whole 15 minutes, it might be that dark. But I just left it on like 10 minutes, 8-10 minutes. I tried a piece on the end first to kind of see what I liked. Found 10 minutes was a good time, and then I wiped it all off, and then I did the whole thing. So I left it on 10 minutes, wiped the excess stain off, and I've left it 24 hours roughly. And then this is after the first coat of polyurethane. Much, much better result. They're coming out with that. It's more of a honey color, but it's not quite as reddish color or amber as the other floors, but it'll be a 1,000 times better than the original without anything. I'm cutting this out for the door frame, where it's not all uneven. I'm notching it in to where it'll fit in there really nice and even. I don't have the right saw. I should have a jigsaw, but this is the best I can do. I don't want to have to go buy another one.
You did a good job on this side.
Here's the polyurethane. I'm gonna try to keep the bubbles down. To give you a last update on the thresholds, I don't know how well you can see it, but you notice I've got countersunk screws in there. One of the countersink, and my idea was to fill it with wood putty, stain it, and then do polyurethane over top of it, and it would be done. Well, I wanted to experiment to see what it looked like. Well, if you look at this one right here, and the camera probably does not do it justice because it's really ugly. It looks like somebody stuck mud in there and then put something shiny on top of it. That is that yellow wood filler that I let dry, sanded a little bit. I stained it with the same stain that I did the thresholds with, and that's what it came out with. Did not like it at all. So I went and got color matched wood filler at Lowe's. It's color matched to this actual stain that I used. Well, the bad thing about it is, if you look at it, it doesn't get hard. I can stick my finger in there and I can move it around and whatever. So it never gets hard. It's always soft. Unfortunately, I didn't realize that until after I'd opened it. So for right now, we're just going to leave it like it is and just see what it does. You know, see if I can figure out some way to put maybe sawdust or something in there. One last thing, you'll see my little blob of caulk right there. I had to caulk around the bottom because it had a little bit of a gap there, and I wanted to fill in that gap so no dog hair and dirt and stuff like that would get under there. So I wanted to make sure the color looked okay, and it looks fine. It looked really good.